Assalamu alaikum. We are getting started. Jazakallah khair. Thank you everyone for joining us in this evening. Before we start with the program, I'm going to have our young Hafaz Ahmed Mirza Bey come up here, and he's going to start with Quran recitation with the translation, and inshallah that would give us a start for the program ahead. So, Ahmed Mirza Bey, you want to come up here?
MashaAllah.
The Sustainer said unto the angels, Behold, I am about to establish upon earth one who shall inherit it. They said, Wilt thou place on it such as will spread corruption thereon and shed blood? Whereas it is we who extol the limitless glory and praise thee and hallow thy name. God answered, Verily, I know that which you do not know. And he imparted unto Adam the names of all things. Then he brought them within the ken of the angels and said, Declare unto me the names of these things, if what you say is true. They replied, Limitless art thou in thy glory. No knowledge have we save that which thou hast imparted unto us. Verily, thou alone art all-knowing, truly wise. Said he, O Adam, convey unto them the names of these things. And as soon as Adam had conveyed unto them their names, God said, Did I not say unto you, Verily, I alone know the hidden reality of the heavens and the earth, and know all that you bring into the open and all that you would conceal. Sadaqallahu al-Azim.
MashaAllah. Takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
MashaAllah, such a good recitation. And by the way, I should have mentioned this. On the program that you have on your table, it says Hafiz Ibrahim Khan, but there was a change. This was Ahmad Mirza Beg. So mashallah, give him applause, I would say. Very good recitation. The last minute call for him, and he volunteered to come and do this for us. So jazakallah khair for that. With that, I'd like to start the program. First of all, I would love to thank everyone here who was here present in this evening. Your presence here in itself is a testimony that you support this cause, and inshallah you'll learn more about these three candidates that we are meeting here today for. You would get to know them more when they introduce themselves. You will also get an opportunity to ask them questions. There are flashcards on your table. Feel free to use the cards, write your questions on there. When the question answer starts, we would be collecting those flashcards and we'll be reading out the questions. So it's not going to be you directly asking them, but we'll read out your questions. With that being said, thank you for coming. And also I would love to thank our host committee, which was spearheaded by Dr. Kasruddin Uncle, who's sitting right here. Kasruddin Uncle, if you want to wave it. He was much more of the inspiration to do this fundraiser for three of you. And then Mazhar Khan, who's right there. Brother Naveed Ali, Hassan Ansari, Muqtadar Ahmad, Amanat Ansari, Dr. Ejaz Rahim, Ali Arana, and myself including, who's your MC today, Dr. Sabah Khan. So thank you all of you for putting this work together and having our, mashallah, three aspiring candidates here. The other thing about today is we have this program, and I'm just going to do some housekeeping things. You see there is a QR code listed under each candidate. You can use your phone. It's as simple as just turning on your camera, scanning the QR code, and it would take you to the link for donation for that particular candidate. Our goal today is to raise funds for all three of them. We know the times today in America, what kind of times we have for American Muslims. And being an American Muslim, it's really important that we are at the table and not on the menu. And people like them are the ones who would help us to be at the table. The Muslims have to be at the table in today's day and time. MashaAllah, these three aspiring candidates, like I said, they are running for the state. Representative Azam Nizamuddin, we know him, and he's running for District 48. Abdelnasser Rashid, he's running for District 21, and Nabila Sayed for District 51. We have people from their office here who would be helping us collect the donations. In addition to the box that we have for donation where you would be dropping off your checks, we do have their campaign managers here. I have Bassam Shahid, the Finance Director for Abdelnasser Rashid. Then I have Sayed Moizuddin, who is Nabila Sayed's campaign manager and her proud dad. And we have Tori Horgan from Azam Nizamuddin's campaign. He's his campaign manager. With that, I now like to pass on the mic to Dr. Kasseruddin. He would love to do some words of appreciation for the candidates and for our audience here.
Thank you very much, Sabah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Quran Majid, وَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ وَإِن كَفَرْتُمْ إِنَّ عَذَابِي لَشَدِيدٌ. So Allah in compliance with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's commandment, it is my duty to express the appreciation of everybody who has made this evening possible, including the names of the host committee members that Sabah already read. I do not want to go over those again. I do want to recognize that the candidates that we have are extraordinary for our community. These candidates, I have known them. In Adam's case, I have known him for about 3 or 4 decades. And for Abdelnasser Rashid, I have known him for at least 1 decade or more. And Nabila, I have not met her, but she stopped by a few months ago at one of the functions and introduced herself. But I also know that one of my closest friends, my friend who has been friends with me for 60 years, and he knows her and he has said a lot of good things about her. So I take his word and say that she is also a very competent candidate. So Illinois has the Muslim population in Illinois is about 2.8%, and the number of representatives in the state of Illinois right now is 0%. There are no Muslim representatives. So if these 3 candidates are successful, and we hope and pray that they will be successful, then the percentage of Muslims in the Illinois House will probably go up to about 1.5%. So we're still going to be short. So we are not really trying to flood the state of Illinois at this time with these 3 candidates, but we really are seeking to at least introduce Muslim community in the House of Representatives of the state of Illinois. And these candidates, inshallah, they will speak for themselves that how talented they are, how engaged with the community they are, and they have been known in the Muslim community for a long time. And we are truly lucky that we have candidates of this caliber for this election. So I highly encourage you all. First of all, thank you all for coming here, okay? And then I highly encourage you to be generous in your donations. And we have tried to be as fair to all 3 candidates as we can. And we are asking you to give to all candidates. But of course, we cannot tell you who to give, how much to give. So it is up to you who you want to give and how much you want to give. Our request to you is to give to all and give as much as you can, so that they do not say that, oh, we ran out of funds. And so inshallah, it will not happen. And inshallah, on the November, what date is the election? November 8th. November 8th, we will have some such party of celebration that evening, inshallah. So I also want to thank all the volunteers who are here, the volunteers are no, the volunteers' names are not here, and I'm trying to remember. Huh? Yes, can you please?
Yes, Brother Iqbal Magda, Brother Muhammad Tariq, Brother Khalid Ansari, and so many others.
And Brother Nazim Sayyed, and all these people, and several other people have contributed to the success of this evening. And please remember them in your prayers, and remember these candidates in your prayers, and not only your checkbook, but your du'as are also needed in order for them to achieve the success. Jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah khair, Dr. Kasruddin. I would now like to introduce Mr. Azam Nizamuddin for District 48, and he gets some time here to talk about himself.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Brothers and sisters, good evening. Thank you all for coming. I want to thank the host committee led by Dr. Kasruddin for convening tonight's meeting, particularly for the fundraising effort. It's a very generous opportunity, and I can't really thank you more than the bottom of my heart for doing this. This is very nice of you, particularly because my district does not include this area, so it's very nice of you to even consider us coming. So we really appreciate it. Thank you all for the people here in attendance. Some of you I've known as a long time, some of you have known since college days. In fact, let me give you a quick story. The first time I met Dr. Kasruddin, he probably doesn't remember this, but I was a college student at Loyola University, and I was taking a course in theology. And for one of the things that courses do is they take trips to different places. So they wanted to take a trip to the masjid. So where else would I go in 1988 to 87? MCC. So we took them down to MCC for Jummah prayer, and I told them, oh, mashallah, during Jummah prayer, people come and listen to the khutbah, and they take their time, and they really want to understand it. And lo and behold, as you know, like everyone comes at the end, and then they take off, and it was like really quick, and they wanted someone to really understand. So we asked around who's the most knowledgeable person that my students and professor could talk to, and they picked Dr. Kasruddin. Back in those days, he used to wear a nice dopey hat. I don't know what you call that hat they used to wear a lot, but it was a signature mark of Dr. Kasruddin. So that's how long I've known him, but I've known many of you for many, many years. Thanks also to my colleagues, Abdelnasser and Nabila for running. They've all, mashallah, done a wonderful job. As you know, Abdelnasser won the primary in Cook County, so that means, inshallah, he's hopefully going to be definitely in the house for us, and Nabila and I have tough races, so it's going to be interesting how we get there. I just want to give you a quick background of how I got involved in politics. When I moved back from law school and I was here in the 1990s, I helped out some candidates here and there, so that was really my first effort. But then in 2008, a guy named Barack Obama was running. So I was eager to help that person who had a Muslim-sounding name, who came from a Muslim family, partially. So I helped out in his campaign. I canvassed in northern Indiana for his campaign in 2008, and then I did again in Wisconsin in 2012. So that was really my first real taste of active involvement. Then we moved from Cook County to DuPage County in 2012, and in 2013 I joined the DuPage Democratic Party, and I became what's called a precinct committeeman, and that was really my first activism. And that was 2013, I got involved, and then ultimately I became the chair of the Democratic Party of Bloomingdale Township. After helping other candidates, we were going door to door, just like I'm doing for myself, but for other candidates for many, many years, putting up signs in January, in November and October, doing all the legwork, all the grunt work, if you will, for all these other candidates for a long, long time. And then finally, in 2020, people asked me to run for judge, and I thought it'd be a good opportunity. So I ran for judge, as many of you know, and alhamdulillah, we came very close. We won the primary, and I think that was the first time a Muslim candidate may have won a contested primary in Illinois. You guys may correct me, but I think that was the first time. That was in 2020, and then I came just within a hair of winning the general. I lost by 0.6%, and I had 229,700 votes. I think that's the most any Muslim has ever garnered in the history of Illinois. So all of us, every year, inshallah, we're going to make more strides. I'm sure my other fellow candidates will do the same thing. This year, we're running for state rep, and I think it's really important that we support me and my fellow candidates, Abdelnasser as well as Nabila, because this is historical. This meeting here is historical. Us running is historical now. Now, we're not running for history, but really we're representing you. That's what state reps do. We represent the constituents, but also our community as well. And as you know, for 3 or 4 decades, our community was so enraptured by everything going on overseas that affected our families and people overseas, and we weren't really paying attention to what's going on locally. It's taken us 4 decades to finally realize, you know what, this is our home, this is our future. It's time for us to get involved in local politics. And it would have been nicer if we did this 3 decades ago because we could have been ahead, but mashallah, we're there, and that's important. So that's what we're doing. We're getting involved in our own backyards, if you will, because as Dr. Khan mentioned, it's important for us to be at the meeting. Alhamdulillah, our community, we have scientists, very successful physicians, very successful business people, very wealthy people who live in the poshest suburbs, Oakbrook, Hinsdale, Naperville, Morton Grove, Evanston, Winnetka, Wilmette, etc., Glenview, etc., etc. And we have kids now who are going to Ivy League schools. But you have zero representation in Springfield. Notwithstanding the incredible talent that we have, the wealth, even in this room, you have zero representation in Springfield. That's the problem, and that's the challenge. That's why this meeting is so important. That's why our run is so important. The other reason our run is so important is it's not just one person running. If, inshallah, us 3 get there, we will have an actual caucus of 3 Muslims who can actually go and talk to Governor Pritzker or other legislators and say, hey, this issue is important to us. And if there's just one person, they can just blow us off. But if all 3 make it, then we support one another, and we can actually say, hey, we have 3 people who really care about this issue. 3 legislators, and we want to pass this bill. So for all those reasons, this is a very important opportunity. We only have a few weeks away from our election. Let me tell you about my district. It's District 48. It's newly created, which means there's no incumbent. I'm on the Democratic ticket. I have a Republican opponent. It includes the following suburbs: Bloomingdale, Itasca, Roselle, Carroll Stream, parts of Hanover Park, parts of Wooddale, parts of Addison, and a little bit of Elk Grove Village. So it's like the northeast section of DuPage County. It's not a huge area in terms of Muslim voters, but there are some. As usual, when we run, we're not looking for ethnic groups. We're running to get every single voter out there to support us. A couple of key challenges, of course, is the fact that historically this is a GOP district. But a couple of things have changed. DuPage County is becoming more and more purple every year. And the decision to overturn Roe v. Wade has galvanized Democratic voters, has reshaped the landscape. 6-8 months ago, people were talking about a bloodbath, meaning the Democrats would get creamed. Not anymore. It's 50-50. That's why our race in particular is so important for you to get involved in every possible way. Not only through your donations, through Zelle. By the way, under the sheet, under Zelle, you can Zelle donations to 847-212-5459. Again, that's 847-212-5459. You can do phone banking, you can help with yard signs, you can just do a canvas with us and just walk the neighborhoods with us, which is exactly where I was just now. I was canvassing literally in Wooddale until 6:30. These are the things. It's a neck-and-neck race. Nabila's race is also very going to be close. That's why really last-minute donations, last-minute volunteers are so crucial for us to win. We can win this. This is why the Speaker of the House, meaning the most important, the head of the Democratic Party, and in the House is Christopher Welch. He replaced Michael Madigan. He assigned Tori as my campaign manager. Say hello, Tori. Hello. And they're helping my campaign. They would not have done that if they think that we can't win. Okay, that's why it's so important. And we can win this. This will be a historic race. Again, this is a part-time job for us, right? We're going to be there part-time of the year. This is not something that we're going to make tremendous money off and prestige, but it's going to be for us and you, our community. So with that, I want to thank you so much for coming. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. And thank you so much. And I think we'll take Q&A at the end, right? Yeah, okay, great. So thank you. May Allah bless you one more time. Assalamu alaikum.